I've been on YouTube for over 4 years now on this channel, and I've actually been creating YouTube videos for well over 10 years. So I have seen the very best and the very worst of YouTube, including the advice that people give when it comes to starting a YouTube channel. So I actually want to talk about the lessons that I've learned on YouTube and what it actually takes to grow a channel that makes you happy. And the advice that I want to give today is going to come from my own experiences, and it isn't going to be the concrete advice that you are used to hearing. I'm sure that I don't need to tell you to research a video and make sure it's something that people are interested in, or creating a click-worthy title and thumbnail combo. There are a million videos out there that are giving you that exact same advice. Instead, I want to give you advice like don't chase the numbers, building a brand that you're actually happy with, and even why you don't need a niche. Now let's start with the most common advice that you're probably going to hear on YouTube, which is niching down and only talking about one topic or a very small subset of topics. And this is something that I have done for a very, very long time, and it is just simply not working anymore. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't niche down or that you can't niche down. This advice is going to work for some people, but for others who are multi-passionate, it just doesn't work anymore. And you may have seen some of this advice popping up around YouTube lately. A few of the YouTubers who come to mind when I think about this topic are people who used to niche down and were known for like their YouTube tips, but they decided to go in different directions. People like Catherine Manning. I started following her back in 2020 when she blew up for her YouTube tips, and she eventually pivoted and decided to become a vlogger, and now she just does TikTok. Or Vanessa Lau is another fantastic creator who took a year sabbatical because she was tired of being known as the Instagram coach, and she decided to come back and is posting in a way more authentic way. And another one that I really love following is Erin On Demand. Now she does YouTube advice, but she still does vlogs and she lets you in on her life a little bit. And I am the exact same way with my content. I was talking about blogging and Pinterest for a long, long time, but I am simply just bored of it. So if you find yourself in a similar situation where you have niched down and now you no longer want to talk about that topic, that is okay. That is normal. I honestly think that it is unrealistic to expect a creator or yourself to always want to talk about one thing for the rest of their channel, because for me, this is my job, but I don't want to talk about one or two things for the entirety of my channel. People are growing and changing all of the time. I am having different life experiences when I started this channel versus now, and so much is different. So I really just don't want to talk about the exact same thing all the time. At this point, I've pretty much run out of things to give advice on, so I'd like to move on and do other things. And if you are feeling the exact same way, that's okay. So basically what I'm saying is don't be afraid to pivot. I want to encourage you to not be afraid to change your channel, change your niche, figure out what else to do if you are finding yourself to be incredibly bored of your topic and wanting to make a change, or if you're just finding yourself in a different life scenario than when you started and you just want to talk about your other passions. That is totally okay. And in fact, I think it's pretty normal. Or you can even just cut the word niche out of your vocabulary altogether because you don't really need a niche to grow. I think it is a really great way to get recognized, but once you build up a little bit of an audience, you don't necessarily need to completely niche down in order to grow your channel. And a lot of people don't really even start with a niche. They start with a bunch of pillars or topics or interests, which is something that I can talk about in another video. But basically the bottom line is you don't necessarily need to niche. And I have found myself personally over the years wanting to pivot, and honestly trying that more times than I can count. I've even mentioned pivoting my niche a time or two here on the channel. However, I never actually did it in any real capacity because I was too worried about what the viewers were going to think, what other people were going to think. I was concerned about hurting my channel and losing everything that I had built up over the years, which honestly is a very valid fear, and it is a real concern because the last 2 videos that I have posted have shown that people are not interested in the content that I am posting about right now. But at this point in my life, this is a risk that I am willing to take because right now I am just so deathly bored of the content that I was posting. I can't even pretend to enjoy posting about it now. But with that being said, it has only been 2 videos since I have really went outside of my niche and started posting about other things. The one video that I just posted, I posted literally this morning. So one of the things that you should do if you're just thinking about starting a channel, or if you are thinking about pivoting your niche, is giving your channel time to to grow. If you are trying out something new or you have just started and YouTube doesn't even know who you are and you have no subscribers, you simply cannot post one video and then not get the results that you want and either give up if you've started a brand new channel or give up and just go right back to the content that you were posting before. And I know this because I did it multiple times. I can tell you firsthand that quitting right out of the gate does not work out in your favor. If you want to make a big drastic switch in your content, or if you want to start YouTube within the next year, you need to give the algorithm time to either find an audience for you or find a new audience if you're pivoting your content. Because if you're pivoting your content, YouTube will expect you to be posting the videos that your current audience likes, so it's going to send out those new videos to them. But when you're doing a pivot or you're changing in your niche, it's going to take a while for YouTube to realize that you've made that switch, and then even longer to find the right people to serve that current content up to. So do not get discouraged if the views that you wanted were not what you got immediately right out of the gate. Or if you started a brand new channel and YouTube has no clue who you are, it can sometimes take 10 to 20 videos for YouTube to even really establish you as a content creator. And it's going to take time for YouTube to find your audience, especially if you are a brand new channel, because YouTube has no clue about what you're doing, who you are, or anything. So just keep going and keep posting those videos, because eventually YouTube will find the right audience for you and you're going to start to grow. This also goes for my next piece of advice, which is do not chase the numbers. I did this in the beginning and I don't fully regret it because it got me where I am here today, but chasing the numbers and the views definitely led to burnout. So when I got started on YouTube, I was talking strictly about blogging. And then I posted one random video about growing on Pinterest, which for some reason did really well for my channel at the time. But I knew back then, 4 years ago, that I did not want to talk about Pinterest. So I just ignored that and I kept posting blogging videos after that. But none of them did as well as that Pinterest video did. So I tested it out and I posted another one. And again, it did really well. And eventually I got to a point where I was testing out a bunch of Pinterest videos and I saw growth on my channel in a way that I had not seen before. So I made the decision to pretty exclusively talk about growing on Pinterest because I was desperate to see some sort of traction in my business. And I told myself that once I got monetized, I would move on to talking about something else. But what I found after I got monetized was I still felt the need to chase the numbers to get the results that I was seeing. And I talked about Pinterest a ton. And then I was also talking about blogging as well, even though I found no joy in talking about either of those at this point. But I felt the need to keep blogging, even though I wasn't enjoying it, and keep posting on Pinterest so that I could get the results and understand what was going on, so that I could post the videos on YouTube and get the results on YouTube. I put myself in this awful circle of needing to do things that I didn't like in order to post videos that I didn't like in order to get the results that I did like. And I wasn't here for the views specifically. What I was really in it for was the money, and not in a greedy way where I needed to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in I would like to pay for rent and eat this week kind of way. Because over the time of those 4 years, this ended up becoming my full-time job. So I was forced to keep doing things that made me money in order to quite literally survive. However, this year was my final straw. Pushing myself to create content that I didn't like led me into such a deep burnout that I've only posted 24 out of the 43 videos I should have posted this year if I were to keep a consistent upload schedule of every Thursday, which was originally the goal. That is pretty much half of the videos that I didn't upload due to simply not being able to push myself to record the videos and upload them anymore. So all of this to say, don't chase the numbers and try to do something that you don't like in order to get the views, the subscribers, or to monetize your channel. Because while it did grow me and it did get my channel monetized, now I feel like I'm pretty much kind of starting from zero anyway, since I have to draw in a new audience that isn't related to Pinterest or blogging. Or it could unfortunately lead to burnout that will have you taking a break from your channel like I did, or just quitting altogether, which is not something that you want if this is what you want to do for your full-time job. So what do I suggest you do instead? I suggest that you follow what makes you happy, even if it means you're going to grow a little bit slower. I think now, knowing what I know, it's more worth it to stay true to yourself and follow what makes you happy instead of chasing the numbers and burning yourself out, or just simply following what the crowd is doing and following what's working. And this is why some people fail, even if they have the courses and they watch the videos and they have all the tools and they have the proven framework that they get from like buying a course or watching other creators. And this is something that Vanessa Lau talks about in one of her videos. She's currently doing a 6-part series on breaking down like her updated process for creating YouTube videos in a more aligned way, which I highly recommend if you are struggling, because it's been really helpful for me going through a similar journey to her. But essentially the point that she was making and that I agree with is there's a reason why some people fail on YouTube, even if you buy the courses and you have the proven framework of how things are supposed to go and you do all the things that everybody else says that you should do. Like that framework may have worked specifically for that YouTuber, but it may not work for you. But that doesn't mean that it didn't actually work. It just means that you need to do what works for you, and you need to follow what makes you happy, and you need to do the inner work and the other stuff that you cannot teach inside of a framework or a course, which is what I have been doing within the past month or so, is trying to figure out what makes me happy and following that, and essentially running my business my way. Which is the other thing that I recommend that you do on YouTube, is forgetting what everybody else says. And eventually at some point you have to stop listening to all the advice and run your business your way, in a way that works for you. And since I've decided to follow what makes me happy, and I decided to stop chasing the numbers and really just do what makes me happy and what I am interested in, I have been able to put out videos on a more consistent basis. I was just so bored with creating the content that I was creating. It was hard to force myself to do it, because at some point it became way less fun and more of an obligation to put those videos out. But at some point there was so much burnout that I couldn't even force myself to do the videos, even if I was treating it like a job. The ideas were not coming as easy. The scripts were hard to write. It was a struggle to get hyped to record, and my editing got so boring. I would fall asleep while editing the videos. And if you can't even force yourself to watch your own videos, how in the world is anybody else going to want to watch them? And that's when I really knew that I needed to make a change, when it was impossible for me to get through my own videos. I wouldn't expect anybody else to be interested in watching them either. And now that I'm running my business my way, I'm getting so much more creative with my edits, and I'm actually enjoying watching the videos that I put out, and I'm finally happy with the product of my videos again. So that has been really great. It has been such an obvious shift for me in the back end that might not be noticeable for you, but for me, it has been a really noticeable shift of doing things that I actually enjoy doing. I have been able to post one video after the next one and actually get excited to start on the next one. As I said, I just posted a video today, and I literally wrote this entire script and started recording it today because I'm actually interested in the content that I'm posting now. And this is what it means to follow what makes you happy and run your business your way. But not only that, I have also stopped doing things that people say work for them that did not work for me, like posting to TikTok. I see so many creators doing amazing on social media in general, Instagram, TikTok, and they're making tons of money. But short form content has never been an interest of mine, and I cannot force myself to do it. I did try to post for a little bit after seeing a lot of the results that other creators were getting, but it is just such a drag for me to post on TikTok, and I have no interest in recording and editing 3 videos a day and putting it up. I have no interest in that. And that's when I realized that I was putting myself down this same path again that I was doing for my YouTube channel by forcing myself to post videos that I didn't want to be posting in order to see the results that other people were seeing. So I don't post on social media anymore. I am not trying to get monetized on TikTok. I do not do Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I don't use Threads. None of it. Like, I'm just not interested in it. So I am focusing strictly on YouTube with my content, and I don't even do YouTube Shorts. I also don't really blog anymore. I haven't really consistently blogged for a long time. I was simply just blogging strictly because I needed to keep blogging in order to put out the videos on how to blog. And as of right now, I've even forgotten about Pinterest. It's been a long time since I consistently posted on Pinterest, but again, I was posting on Pinterest because I'm like, I need to get the results. I need to know what's going on Pinterest in order to put out videos on Pinterest. And I just put myself in this awful loop of I had to do the things that I didn't want to do in order to post the videos that I didn't want to post, and it all sucked. If I don't like doing it in my business, I am not going to do it. Simple as that. that. My current and my only focus is to post videos on YouTube and nothing else, because that is what I enjoy and it is what is working for me. So don't feel pressured to do things because you feel like you have to do them because they work for others. If you have to force yourself to do them, chances are they're not going to work for you anyway, and you're going to be miserable in the process. There are no two ways to run a business, and just because it makes money for other people does not mean that you have to force yourself to do it as well. And at first I found it a bit scary to only focus on YouTube and not focus on anything else, because one of the big pieces of advice that I hear from people is diversify your income streams. Don't rely on just one platform for income. Build an email list in case social media goes away tomorrow. And while that is true, I feel like those things can be a bit misleading coming from bigger creators, or they can be a bit like doomsday. Because if you look at the journey of your favorite creators, a lot of them have started right here on YouTube, only focusing on YouTube. Before they launched any other products, before they were posting on social media, or they were releasing merch or courses or whatever, they had one focus to start, and that was growing on YouTube. They built up a good sized audience with good cash flow from one income source, but then and only then did they move on to other avenues with a team of people to help them post on social media, to edit their videos, to make courses, and all these other things. They have a team of people to do that. So yes, you should diversify. That's probably a good idea to have more than one income stream when you are posting online. But all of that said, you should have a single focus first and build up one income stream, which is what most of the successful creators did before you move on to other things. And they likely also have a team of people helping them as well. So if you're trying to do TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, blogging, email marketing, and all these different things by yourself, your favorite creators are not doing that. Some of them maybe are, but then they're also working 50, 60, 70 hours a week in order to get all of those things done. And personally for me, I don't want to work that much. So the advice to diversify your income streams is great, but it also ended up putting a lot of pressure on me to try and spread out too thin, too fast, and do too much at once, which is why I'm now forgetting everything else and putting 110% into YouTube and nothing else. Plus, as I said, you hear people say, build an email list in case social media goes away tomorrow, or in case you never have a way to contact your subscribers ever again. And again, that is true. It's very, very possible. Like, for example, TikTok in the United States is supposed to be banned, at least like I thought it was, but nobody really knows what's going on with that. So it is true that social media could go away. But as far as YouTube goes, it has been here for years and years. And in my opinion, it's not going anywhere, at least not anytime soon. So I think it's going to be okay to just focus on YouTube for a little while. So if you are also focusing on YouTube, but you feel that you need to be in a bunch of different places at once, it's okay to just focus on YouTube for now and build that up to a sustainable pace, and then move on to other things. I have so many more tips and things to say when it comes to the best and the worst advice that I have heard on YouTube. So if you want to hear any more from me in the future, make sure to like this video if you liked it and subscribe to my channel down below so you don't miss out on any more content. And if you want to hear more about YouTube advice from me, make sure to check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.